Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, we wanted to continue with Sanatan Dharma. And before we do that, we wanted to pay our obeisances to Radha Madhav, Radha Shyamsundar Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, Gaunita, Srila Prabhupada, and Guru Maharaj and the assembled devotees, so that we get their blessings, so that we can continue with the topic of Sanatan Dharma. So today, we wanted to continue with the three modes of material nature. These modes govern our behavior. They control us, basically. We're conditioned, this is a word used, conditioned by these three modes. We're actually pure living entities, spiritual in nature, but because we have come in contact with this material world, where these three modes of material nature are present, because we are tiny, we are marginal living entities, we've come away from the shelter of the Supreme. So we have now come under the influence of the three modes of material nature. Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. Sattvagun is mode of goodness, and Rajagun is mode of passion, and Tamagun is mode of ignorance. And these modes are described by Sri Krishna in chapter 14 of the Bhagavad Gita. It is worth reading this chapter over and over again to understand how these modes work, how they influence us, what mode are we in, and how can we get out of this, the effect of the modes. So just a very brief summary, the three modes, mode of goodness, Sattvagun, it's illuminating, because the person in Sattvagun behaves sinlessly. He behaves very nice. He's a human, real human. And it frees one from sinful reactions, so he doesn't suffer. But one becomes conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. So it's a very good place to be, good mode of goodness, because in that place, one is a decent human being. But the problem is that we may not get out of this material world because we become happy in that mode of goodness. And that happiness is not enough, because that happiness is still within this world. We are seeking that happiness, that connection with God, with the Supreme Lord, which takes us beyond this world, which is beyond this material happiness. Then the mode of passion fills one with unlimited desires and longing, so many things that we want. And in order to get those things, we have to work very hard. So it binds one to this material world where we're performing fruitive action. What does fruitive action mean? It means we're doing something to get something in return. So we work hard to get a salary, to buy things which we think are going to make us happy in this world. And we have an unlimited list of things that we want. Therefore, we are committed heavily to work hard to get those things. And the mode of ignorance, tamagun, is delusion. It binds the conditioned soul by madness, indolence, and sleep. The mode of ignorance is where we've gone completely mad. We've become so intoxicated with perhaps some drink or drugs, or we become just foolish. Actually, behavior is just foolish. No reason for any reasonable behavior. There's no reasonable behavior. It's just the actions are destructive and really harmful, not just to others, but to oneself as well. So, not a place where one wants to be at all. Okay, so let's have a look at this mode of ignorance a little bit more closely. We looked at Rajagun yesterday and Sattvagun. Today we will look at What is this ignorance? Because this is one place we don't want to be. For sure, we don't want to be, because if we come into this mode of ignorance, then our destination in our next life is in the animal kingdom. Yes, Madhuben.
Jai Shri Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, it is.
Only just wanted to clear this these three mode. હું તમને ગુજરાતીમાં હું જે સમજુ છું બરાબર સમજુ છું. This I wanted to
please.
That means જીવ या आत्मा is pure, right?
Yes.
Yeah. When it comes in this world, in with and contact with nature, so the three modes in ગુજરાતીમાં શું લક્ષણ પ્રાકૃતિક ગુણ કહેવાય, શું ઈ સેમ વસ્તુ હું કહું છું. Yeah. They got when he comes to contact in nature got these three mode, and jeev acting one of this mode with one of.
Yes, the modes influence the behavior. Hanji, that's correct.
Okay.
Very good. You got good understanding.
Okay, just I wanted to clear this. I understand is correct. My understanding is correct. Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Very good. Thank you for clarifying. So how does ignorance bind us? Ignorance causes delusion for all embodied living entities. The result of this mode are madness, indolence, sleep, which binds conditioned soul. Ignorance is just the opposite of moral goodness. Under the mode of ignorance, under the spell of ignorance, one cannot understand a thing as it is. 2 indicates Two indicates it's very peculiar for living embodied soul. I'm not quite sure what that is all about. But anyway, what are the characteristics? So these are the characteristics. So the next bit is, how does it manifest? Madness. Everyone is dying, but people are madly accumulating money and not caring for the eternal spirit. So in one sense, we are all in ignorance because we're not understanding that the death can take place at any moment. And we are very busy in our day-to-day life, ignoring what is really good for us. And what we're doing is we're, generally speaking, accumulating money, friends, like that. And the other manifestation is laziness, not interested when invited to associate for spiritual understanding. So spiritual understanding is very important, but we have to be very patient. It's not that within 5 minutes we will be able to understand spiritual life. Some people are like that. I should be able to understand who is God, who am I, what am I meant to do within a few minutes. I don't have the time of day for you except 5 minutes, if that. Well, whoever becomes a doctor or an accountant or an IT engineer or teacher or anything, you have to go through a process of learning and training. Without that training, you get no qualification. And the same applies for spiritual understanding, if not more. You have to spend quality time to understand who is God, who are we, what is our relationship with God. It's not that it's going to be a 5-minute exercise and done. We find people, they've got time for so many things, but no time for spiritual understanding. And it's a shame. People expect to be fully enlightened within a few minutes. Well, are you going to become a doctor within a few minutes? You just tell the teacher, give me a certificate and I'll go and practice and perform surgery on somebody? No, it's not going to happen. So in the same way, we have to spend time reading the Bhagavad Gita. We have to spend time listening to the lectures given by the realized devotees, those who are really understanding and who are living, living that spiritual life. Then it has some impact. So we shouldn't be that, we shouldn't take shortcuts. It should be done with a view to really make spiritual progress. Otherwise, we're fooling ourselves. I'll go to the temple. Oh, yes, I go to the temple every week, and I am therefore spiritually enlightened. No. It doesn't work that way. One has to actually make steady progress in spiritual life, day by day, week by week, slowly, understanding more and more and more and more. And this is why I'm really happy with Madhu Ben, Prabha Ben, Nani Ben. You come and you ask questions, and you really you got this thirst and hunger for spiritual knowledge. Very important. So thank you very much. And the person who is in this mode, they will sleep for a very long time. Generally, sleep is one of the things which you can identify somebody. They sleep for like 10, 12, 14 hours a day. Generally speaking, 6, 7 hours should be enough. But those who sleep much, much more, it's a symptom that that person is in mode of ignorance. Yes, Nani, Praveen.
Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Prabhuji, all the devotees.
I think
When it come to the sleep, is it the daytime sleep or is it the nighttime sleep when we go to sleep in the
it's
night?
usually the night time. Yeah, usually the night time. So the person in ignorance, they would sleep late and wake up very late, 10, 11, 12, they'll wake up. Not good.
Suppose if you go sleep 11
Hmm.
and just woke about 5:30 or 7,
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's reasonable.
fine.
Yeah, that's reasonable. If it's possible to rise a little earlier, before sunrise, like devotees tend to rise minimum 2 hours before sunrise, minimum.
So what is 5 o'clock?
Yeah, 5 is good. Usually 4, because Mangalati starts at 4:30. So
That's
generally
right, yeah.
4 o'clock, 5 o'clock is good. And that is a good time to
Chant.
chant, yeah, meditate, chant, because at that time nobody is awake. It's a fantastic time. Even the birds are asleep. So there's no noise. So
All right. Thank you.
that's a good time.
So
Okay.
it's 6, 7 hours, all right.
Yeah.
But not more than that.
No, but if the body needs a little bit more, like if you need 8 hours, you need 8 hours. You take the sleep, because sleep is so important. When you sleep, you become refreshed, if it's good sleep. And when you don't sleep, you can become very irritable, and you can't necessarily do many of the things that you should be doing. So you should get enough sleep. But 6, 7 hours is good. But if you need a bit more, there's no harm taking a bit more.
All
But
right.
we try to reduce the sleep. Try to reduce, because sleep can be a total waste of time, because it's sleep. You don't do anything. But at the same time, you need to rejuvenate the body. So it's a tight. Like we have to make we decide how much our body needs sleep.
All right.
Mhm.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So summary is the more goodness, conditions one to happiness, passion to fruitive activities, and ignorance to madness. So Lord Krishna has described this in chapter 14, text 9. So, what are the symptoms of the three? This is just in summary. In goodness, one illuminates the gates of the body with knowledge. So like the mouth, the ears, the eyes, nose, nostrils, they're in sync. They can smell nice, they can see nicely, they can hear nicely, they can speak nicely. The perception by the senses based on knowledge is the right position. Is the clean, this person is clean inside and outside and free from sinful reaction. One who's in the mode of passion is intense endeavor, unlimited desires and longings, great attachment, fruitive activities. And ignorance is, as we've already talked about, delusion, darkness, madness, inertia, not working according to regulatory principle, working whimsically for no purpose, illusion. Even though he has the capacity to work, he does not endeavor. One transcends all three modes by knowing that all activities take place under the control of the modes and by understanding Krishna's position as transcendental to the modes. So this is how one can come out of these modes. One transcends all three modes by knowing that all activities take place under the control. So it's just knowing that I am acting under Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. It will help us get over the three modes. And by understanding Krishna's position, because he's beyond, he's completely spiritual. He has no connection with this material world. He's not impacted by Tamagun, Rajagun, Sattvagun. He's beyond. And we are also, if we are properly situated, we are also beyond these three modes of material nature. But our situation is not in this material world so favorable. So we're conditioned by these material modes. So these are different characteristics which I wanted to, there's quite a lot. So maybe we might have to do it over again, another session as well. But I like going through these sessions, these different aspects of our life to understand where are we. So now, here we got 4 headings: ignorance, passion, goodness. But we got another one, pure goodness. So ignorance is, as we talked about, tamagun. Passion is a rajagun. Goodness is sattvagun. But there's another category, pure goodness. It's Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha, pure Sattvagun. Pure goodness. And that is spiritual. That is spiritual. So let's take an example. What is our characteristics and what is our manifestation? Okay, are we mad? Are we lazy? Are we always ignorant and delusioned? Or are we working hard all day long and we got so many things to do, so many things to buy, so many attachments? Or are we happy? Are we in good knowledge, understanding, and acting without committing sins, not hurting others? Or are we in the fourth category? We are complete, unmotivated, unfailing devotion to the Supreme Personality. Are we just doing bhakti? Are we just living to please God and his devotees? Is that our function? Or is it our characteristic? Is that our manifestation? That's where we want to aim. This is where we want to aim. We might be here in ignorance, so we want to at least come to passion. If we might be in passion, let's come to goodness. Anybody might be in goodness. Let's take the next step, because this is where we want to be. Even goodness is not good enough. because we still remain in this world, although happy. But that happiness is temporary, because we will change the body one day. Everything will be lost. But we want to go to that place where there is no change of body anymore. That's the spiritual world. We attain our spiritual body. That's pure goodness. Our charity, what's our charity like? Do we just give it to anybody without considering time, place, the person, or the circumstances? So, for example, are we giving it, if we see somebody begging outside a off license and we give them £1 and they're a little bit intoxicated anyway, what are they going to use the money for? We give them £1, what are they going to use the money for? They're going to buy more intoxication. So that is charity in the mode of ignorance. That is not to be done. That is a no-no. Because you're encouraging somebody to get worse. Charity is not to help somebody get worse, to go more darker, more in a more darker place. Is our charity done so that my name can be in flashlights? I give you £1 and you can advertise that I gave you £1 and I want a favor from you, or I'm giving it to you. Take it. Why you keep bothering me? Here, just take it. If that's our mood, then that is charity in the mode of passion. That is also not recommended, not good. Because that will have a karmic reaction. We're giving for something back in return. So that will bind us to this world. Then there's the third type of charity in goodness. We do it as a duty in the right place, to the right person, without wanting anything back in return. That's good. That's good. It's like the left hand should not know that the right hand is giving. That's a little hard, of course. But the point is that we're just giving it to the right person at the right time, as part of our duty, so that we help others, and we don't want anything back in return. So that's really good. But that will also bring us back to this material world. We'll have to enjoy the fruit of giving that charity in the next life, maybe. So what is the best charity? The best charity is performed only to satisfy the Supreme Lord or his devotees, including his devotees. So we go to the temple, we put money in the hundi. That's fantastic. That is very, very good, because nobody knows you put it in the hundi. You don't advertise it, just put it in. And it's gone in the temple, and the temple will use it properly. Hopefully they will anyway. If you know the temple is not going to use it properly, then be careful. Then we give it to the person who we have full trust and faith that this will be used for the service of God or his devotees. Food. Do we like tasteless, stale, putrid, decomposed, unclean food, which has been cooked for more than 3 hours before eaten? Or do we like to eat others' remnants? Or do we like to eat meat, fish, or eggs, and alcohol? Then we'll fall into the category of ignorance. Not a good place to be. Really not a good place at all. You are what you eat. That's one of the sayings. And there was this quotation by George Bernard Shaw, which is really good. I am not a graveyard of dead bodies. Do we like food which is bitter, too sour, too salty, too pungent, too rich, too dry, too hot, which causes pain, distress, and disease? That's in the mode of passion. Or do we like food which increases our longevity, gives us strength, makes us healthy, gives us happiness, satisfaction? nourishing, sweet, juicy, fattening. Of course, this is good cholesterol, right? Not bad cholesterol. Milk products, grains, sugar, preferably not white sugar. Gohor is the best. Fruit and vegetables. This is diet for the mode of goodness. But that food, which is prepared by the devotees according to scripture injunctions, offered with devotion to the Supreme Lord, that is the best. That is the best. And the remnants, Mahaprasad, of God and the devotees is the best. Mahaprasad. That will take us to the spiritual world. And the jump from here to here is very small. We can perfect our lives simply by whatever we cook, we offer it to God. We're turning ordinary food into spiritual food. We are turning our material life into spiritual life. And it's a very pleasurable thing to do. Because whenever we cook something, we don't taste it, we don't have a desire to enjoy it before Krishna has enjoyed it. So it's so pleasurable because we cook. And you know, when you love somebody and you're cooking for that person, you're thinking of that person, that, they're like this, so I'm going to cook this for them. And then when they come to your home, you know, you decorate it nicely and you put it in a very nice plate and you offer it to them. Say, please eat. I've made this for you. So when you see that person eating, you get great joy and happiness. And they also, because you've made it with your love, they will feel your love in that food and they will enjoy it as well. So that is exactly the same for God. When we cook something and when we put it in a nice plate for him, and we put, you're feeding a young, hungry boy, you put as much as you can, nicely, and you offer it to him. You say, please, my dear Lord, I've cooked this for you. Please eat it, relish it, enjoy it, bless it, please. Even if he does eat food from our hand just once in our whole life, our life is successful. Our life will have meaning because we have pleased him, even if it's just once. So every day, devotees, when they cook, or when we cook 3 times a day, we offer every day. Hopefully, you know, in a year, we would have cooked 1,000 times for the Lord. Maybe over 30, 40, 50 years, that's 50,000 times we've offered to Krishna. Hopefully, at least once he's accepted it. But from our point of view, even if he hasn't accepted, it becomes prasad. He's got no choice. We put it in front of him. He has to bless it. So it's a win-win situation for us. Yes, Madhuben.
Sorry, Prabhuji. When we're talking about the pure goodness, right? આપણે કુક કરીએ અને માઇન્ડમાં ભગવાન તો હોય જ યા પણ અને સર્વિંગ પહેલા આપણે એને જ કરવાના છીએ કારણ કે બનાવતા પહેલા બનાવીએ ત્યારે વી થિંકિંગ અબાઉટ ગોડ અને પછી બનાવીને પહેલા એને આપણે સર્વ કરીએ પણ એઝ અ હ્યુમન બીંગ આઈ ડોન્ટ નો આઈ એમ લાઈક ધેટ આજે જ મેં એવું કર્યું છે કે મારી ગ્રાન્ડ ડોટરનો બર્થડે છે she is not with me today but I was cooking one dish whatever she like. That's and good. I'm going to send it tomorrow or whoever come to see me today or tomorrow and I'll send it to her. So is it how can That's I good. Ask? That's is good. Is goodness or pure goodness?
It's pure goodness because you're going to offer it to Krishna.
Of course.
Yeah. Of course. It's pure goodness. Pure. Because you made it into prasad. I know, you cooked it for her or him.
Yeah. મને બનાવવાની મને આજે એક વર્ષ પછી ડીશ બનાવું છું, કારણ કે that my dish, my whole family love that. So અને everybody, હમણાં કોઈ મને બોલતું નહોતું કે નાની દાદી can you make this one, otherwise they લોકો all the time મને બોલતા કે નાની લાડવા ખાવા છે, દાદી લાડવા ખાવા છે, પણ હવે કોઈ મને બોલતું નથી after my husband passed. તો આજે મેં ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ એનો બર્થડે છે, નાની છે, સૌથી નાની એનો બર્થડે છે એટલે મેં બનાવ્યું, પણ મને ખબર નથી કે ઇટ્સ ગુડનેસમાં આવે કે પ્યોર
No, it
ગુડનેસમાં.
is. See, ultimately, because see, Paramatma is in everybody, right? Including your grandchild. So if you are cooking for your grandchild, Paramatma is within that grandchild. And because you're offering it to the Supreme Lord anyway, that is considered to be pure goodness. It's even better, of course, when you are completely 100% focused on Krishna. Yes, that is always going to be the top. But what you're doing is very, very close. It is still falling in this goodness category, pure goodness.
પણ આ કન્ટ્રીમાં તો આપણે કાંઈ બી બનાવીએ, કાંઈ બી ભગવાનને ધરીએ, તો સમટાઈમ્સ આઈ ફીલ સોરી, મને એમ વિચાર આવે કે આજે હું ભગવાનને શું ધરાવીશ, તો હું પેલા મારી જાતને પૂછું કે મારે શું ખાવું છે.
That's fine.
Because of નહીતર ઈ ધરાવેલો પ્રસાદ હું રોજ કોને દેવા જાઉં?
No, that's fine. Because ultimately you're right. We have to be very practical. But આપણે જે બનાવીએ છીએ, we are so lucky, Madhuben, because shak, rotli, dal, bhat, guess what? This is exactly Krishna's diet. So even you can't, because we can't even go wrong. Because whatever we're cooking, it's what is the traditional food that was offered to Krishna in the Vedic times. So it's absolutely fine, Madhuben.
ઓફકોર્સ આઈ થિંક જ્યારે હું કુક કરું છું ત્યારે હું થિંક કરું કે આજે ભગવાન કોને મારી પાસે મોકલવાનું છે. અને સમટાઈમ્સ આઈ ડોન્ટ નો, અનએક્સપેક્ટેડ કોઈ ને કોઈ આવે તો છે.
Oh, very good, very good.
પણ મને એમ થાય કે આપણે શું ભગવાનને છેતરતા નથી ને, એને પૂછીએ પેલા આપણે ભગવાનને ધરવું છે, પછી પૂછીએ આપણી જાતને કે આપણે શું ખાવું છે, પછી ઈ જ આપણે બનાવીને ધરીએ છીએ.
But he'll understand. No, he'll understand. Because he knows also, he also does not like waste. He's also very humble, So that is absolutely fine.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, and he's like part of your family. So, you like, you think, what can I make for my son, my daughter, like that. So he's like that.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks. Yeah.
And also because he's seated in your heart, he will have already put an idea into your mind. Make this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thanks, Mataji. Thank you.
It's very nice, Madhuben, that you are doing that and you're thinking of the Lord while you're cooking.
Conscious of
consciousness is good. Yeah, very good. And we're going to be one of those guests one day. We're going to surprise you one day.
Oh, welcome.
I hope.
Anytime you're welcome.
I hope.
Thank you.
So we can just do this last one and then we can stop. Objects of worship. So who do we worship? Those who are in the mode of ignorance, they'll worship like the ghosts and the spirits. And the example is Halloween. Halloween is actually meant to be fun, but there are some people who take Halloween very, very seriously. And they worship the ghosts and the hobblings, And in Bharat as well, there is a whole community of people who actually worship ghosts, So God knows why, because we never understand it. But anyway, passion, they worship their heroes in this world, sports stars, Sachin Tendulkar or, Amitabh Bachchan. That's their heroes. That's their God, if you like. They worship them. They always be thinking of them. Those in the mode of goodness, they would worship the devatas, like you could say Durga Mata, Mataji, or Lord Shiva would be included in that category, or
Hanuman, Ganesh,
Hanuman, Ganesh, yeah,
Indra.
yeah. Or they may worship just light, God is no form, he's only light. That's the category they may fall into. But pure goodness, our worship is the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord has many forms: Krishna, Rama, Vishnu, Nrsimha, so many different forms. So if we have a tendency to worship the demigods because of our previous training from our family, that's okay. Just add Krishna, just add Ram, just add Vishnu to the altar in your heart. That's all you have to do. And the rest, the Lord will do. Mhm. But we do understand that from family tradition, sometimes, people have been worshipping all their life a certain deity. So we would say, don't stop worshipping that deity. Carry on. Carry on. But add Krishna to your life. So then, you're also respecting the family tradition, but you also then falling into this category of pure bhakti, pure devotion, pure goodness. And we want everybody to come into this category, not by force, but by love. So, any questions, any comments? And then we'll continue the rest on Monday, I think so. Okay, thank you so much. Sanatan Dharma ki jai.